Your Way to Freedom show. I'm your host, Janine Betts. Last time we were learning about the Real Marketing Framework, and we had discussed what the E stands for, the educate. If you haven't seen the episode, make sure you go back and watch that framework from the very beginning, episode 1, which is the R in the framework, and then episode 2. Today we're talking about the third part of the framework in episode 3, and that's what the A stands for. The A in the Real Marketing Framework stands for amuse or amusing. What do I mean by that? To be amusing, to amuse somebody, means that you are entertaining. It means that you have the ability to figure out how to make somebody want to watch your content. You have to think of it this way. When you're on Facebook, when you are scrolling through your Facebook feed and you see an ad and it makes you actually stop. You stop on an ad. What made you stop? Why did you stop scrolling to look at that ad? Was there something funny? Was there something relevant to a problem that you're dealing with? Was it just so random and weird that you just had to check because it was a meme of a cat crying? I don't know. But when it comes to being amusing or amuse, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be funny. What it does mean is you need to be entertaining. You cannot, as a real network marketer, as a real affiliate marketer, as a real marketer, you cannot be boring. Nobody will listen to someone who is boring. If you're boring, it means that your content doesn't get seen, it doesn't get watched. And people who are boring just don't get noticed. And you don't want to be in that realm. You want to be noticed. So as an amusing network marketer, someone who knows how to entertain their audience, how to be creative, the best method I recommend to figure out what you're good at is to start creating content on a few different platforms. I recommend Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I recommend those because they all have very different types of demographics and mindsets on those platforms. The fun thing about it is you will get different data on your content. You'll get different engagement on your content, and you'll be able to figure out, okay, which platforms do I actually get good engagement on? Which ones am I getting comments on? Which ones give me leads? Which ones are getting me conversations going? Which ones am I building relationships with? Once you start to produce content for, I would say, 1 to 2 months on all of those platforms, you can start to determine where the platform is that is going to make the most sense for your business. So for myself, I've been producing content on all of those platforms for the past 6 weeks. And I'm starting to learn that, for example, on TikTok, I get some engagement, no comments at all. On YouTube, I get engagement and I get comments. On Instagram, I get likes, but not a lot of comments. And then on Facebook, I get comments, but they're just from my family. So knowing where it's going to be the best return on investment, the best bang for your buck, I recommend doing at least those 4 main platforms to start off to figure out where you want to actually spend your time. How do you do this without, it's a lot of different platforms? How am I going to figure out which one to, do I have to create new content for every single platform? Of course not. We don't have time to discuss that today, but in a next episode, I'll talk to you about how you can use one piece of content and turn it into 36 other pieces of content. Now, once you've done that data analysis and you figured out, okay, the platform that I need to be on is YouTube. Excellent. Focus all of your efforts on YouTube and start to create more and more content. YouTube Shorts, YouTube main videos, the long form content. It's very important that you start to create that so that you can start to build up your content library of what you have to offer to your audience. And then you'll be able to test and determine what your audience responds to. Are they how-to videos? Are they videos on how to, tips and tricks and things like that for your industry? So you'll be able to take that information back, and then you'll be able to create more content like that. So amusing, entertaining, don't be boring. This is the third part of the framework. In the next episode, I'm going to talk to you about the fourth and the final and the most critical piece. Everything we've been learning up until this point is the foundation for the final part of the framework. You cannot use the last part of the framework if you don't have the first 3 set up. So I look forward to talking to you then.